Now, I know you've been following developments across the country, and over the weekend we saw the suspension of the PDP national chairman. Now, I'd like you to see it from the perspective of the beauty of democracy. Let us, so that we can understand some of these things. Now, what do you make of challenges, crisis, disagreements within political parties when PDP, with its experience over the years, is supposed to be helping, to build democracy from one hand, the APC on the other hand, Labour Party on the, or whatever the thing is. But here we are having only the APC one way or the other, as it seems, making a headway with Labour Party in their own. PDP, with all of the experience, is not able to add up its own experience into the building of democracy at this time with what's going on. Or do you see what's going on with the challenges in the PDP as the beauty of democracy in itself?
Yeah, dissenting is part of the internal party democracy. And it strengthens party. People should be able to have their say, whether you disagree with the policy or you agree with it. There's nothing unusual about that. The most important thing is how these issues are resolved and managed, by the party leadership. If you look at the crisis in PDP, it didn't start just suddenly. It's simply because the zoning policy of the party was disregarded. Agreed. They all agreed to disregard it. No doubt about it. With this caveat that when, if article emerges as the, or a northerner, sorry, I would draw that, a northerner emerges as the presidential candidate, then the chairman of the party will step aside. That was the understanding which was made, it was in public. Even Ayu himself spoke about it. Now, after that, he then chose not to comply with that when a northerner emerged as a presidential candidate. So that gave, a fillip to whatever was brewing within the PDP. Then you now have a situation where the presidential candidate of PDP itself, Atiku Abubakar, made a slip at the Hariwa House when he said, oh no, vote for me. He tried to play the regional politics, not ethnic, regional politics. I'm from the north, don't vote for this, don't vote for that. That deepened feelings within the PDP camp, particularly the G5 integrity group. Now, PDP is already in a hole. It needs to come out of that hole, but the party continues to dig deeper, trying to expand the hole. That started with the process of trying to suspend some members of the party, which compelled Wike and a few others, to approach the court for protection. Shimaroku Namani was suspended, obviously for anti-party activity. He didn't hide it. He made it very, very clear as part of his own way of dissenting against the decision of the party over the zoning policy within the party. And then you had Autumn also, playing anti-party activity as a way of rebelling against the decision of the party, which not forcing Ayu out, basically. And that was his own explanation. So at a point in time, there has to be discipline. At a point in time, because you cannot allow a political party to continue
But who disciplines who now?
That's the issue.
In the mix, the way we see who disciplines who now?
That is the issue. The real problem is that the national chairman of the party is right at the center of the crisis. That is the major problem PDP is facing. Because you can't even convene the National Working Committee of PDP without the chairman's approval. And he's right at the center of that crisis. We now have what is similar to what happened to Adam Soshomole now happening. You have the ward chairman suspending the party chairman, and then the state chairman, the state party has to meet on this today. So eventually, how can you remain the chairman if you have been suspended? And they gave very valid reasons. They gave two of the reasons are very valid. One, that he has not paid subscription, which was exactly the case with Doyo Kupe in Ogun State. If you remember the Labour Party leadership, I think the publicity secretary announced that, Arabambi, Comrade Arabambi, and they had to force him out from his position. The same thing is playing out now. So what you see, the end product of this is
they also say he didn't vote in the
that he didn't vote, that he was not in his polling unit. He did not vote on that very day. He was not there to support his party. Those are the arguments. More or less, what they're saying is they are also accusing the national chairman of PDP, of anti-party. So now when you have two cases of the leadership of PDP accusing some people of anti-party, and they in turn are accusing the national chairman of the party of anti-party, then we are in a serious problem here. Yeah. I will align with Segun on one thing, that PDP needs to get his house to put his house in order. Otherwise, the party will go into oblivion if care is not taken. It's a party that has contributed tremendously to the growth of democracy in Nigeria. And is strong, it has structures virtually everywhere. If the crisis is not properly managed in a way that members can feel, a sense of belonging, members can feel that they have a new, vibrant leadership, what will likely happen is that PDP may wither away and become a regional party. That is not what anybody wants. We want our democracy to, grow stronger and stronger by the day, not the decimation of political parties. Okay. And very importantly, the way the crisis in PDP is resolved, it's quite very significant for the way the political parties will manage crises, because there's no party that won't have one crisis or the other at one time or the other. The most important thing is internal dissent is an integral part of internal party democracy, and it has to be managed. That is what is not happening currently.